muting and unmuting yourselves with the button. And I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you all. And we'll switch over to the slideshow. And this is what we're going to be looking at. Awkward hands where you may end up telling a small white lie or bending the rules, choosing the best small lie to tell about your hand. And for those of you who've done my continuing bridge course, it's in the green book on pages 95 to 96. So we're going to look at a few examples of bending the rules, and let's start with this one here. Whereas West, you've got 13 points, you've got a 5-card heart suit, and you may think the best opening bid there is 1 heart. Normally with the 5-card major, it's a good idea to bid that suit. But if you bid 1 heart here, and suppose your partner responds 1 spade, you now have a difficult rebid. Your only real legitimate rebid is 2 hearts here. And although you have 5 hearts, they're very poor quality, and it's not really a suit you're very happy about bidding twice. So what can you do about that? Is there an alternative to bidding 2 hearts on this hand? After one, if you open 1 heart, your partner bids 1 spade, could you bid anything else? So unmute yourself if you have a suggestion. Well, one
no trump?
Yeah, sometimes people suggest 1 no trump with this hand, but that's a bit of a lie too, because opening 1 of a suit and then rebidding 1 no trump shows a balanced hand with 15 or 16 points. So that's a bit of a lie as well. So what you can do on this hand, instead of opening 1 heart, is actually to open 1 no trump. So open 1 no trump with 5-card major if it's a poor suit. As many of you know, there's a debate in the bridge world about whether you should open 1 no trump in general with a 5-card major, and there are different schools of thought. Some opinions say that you should, and some that you shouldn't in general. But I think everyone would agree that with a very poor suit, it's okay to open 1 no trump because you have no other convenient rebid. And equally, with a very good 5-card suit, it makes sense to open that 1 of a suit. So it's here you've got a very weak suit, so you tell a little lie. You sort of don't bid your heart suit and just bid 1 no trump. Now you may still find a heart fit. Imagine your partner has got a hand like this with 14 points. What should East respond to 1 no trump with this hand?
3 no trumps.
There's a possibility of 3 no trump, but what's a better bid?
Stayman?
Yes, 2 clubs. Yeah. Generally speaking, you want to be in an 8-card major fit if you have one. So you bid 2 clubs here, and then, of course, West bids 2 hearts. They treat their 5-card suit like a 4-card suit, and they're happy to bid it. And you'd end up in 4 hearts on this hand, which may do better than 3 no trump. 3 no trump may do fine as well, but generally speaking, with a good trump fit, you'd rather be in 4 hearts. So that's how this one would go here. So that's the first bending of the rules, if you like, opening 1 no trump with a 5-card major if it's a rather weak suit. Any questions on that?
Why would you say 2 clubs? Sorry. Why would you say 2 clubs and not 2 hearts as East?
Well, you've got 14 points opposite a 1 no trump opener, so you need to be in game there, and so you're bidding 2 clubs as Stayman.
Oh, you're doing Stayman. Oh, of course.
Oh, it's Stayman, yeah, sorry.
Didn't realize it, yeah.
Someone said that, yeah. Okay. All right, so that's the first one. Let's have a look at another situation where you might bend the rule. And here East has opened 1 heart, and the South, you don't have a 5-card suit to bid, but you have a very good 4-card suit. And although I don't want to encourage you to generally overcall with a 4-card suit, if you have a very good 4-card suit like this, something like Ace, King, Queen 10 or Ace, King, Jack 10, then most people will overcall that, only if it's at the 1 level, and it has to be a really good suit. Now, when you overcall 1 spade, your partner will assume you've got a 5-card suit. Okay, so if the bidding goes on perhaps 2 hearts by West, North here has got 5 points, but has 3 spades and will probably support you. They really should bid 2 spades there, because as far as they're concerned, you have an 8-card fit in spades. So, you know, your partner is right to support you. That may well not end the bidding, and you may well find that the opponents go on. Maybe you'll push them into 3 hearts if the auction is something like that. If they do bid 3 hearts, I'm probably not going to go on there, because I've already sort of stretched a little bit to bid 1 spade. But with such a good suit, it's probably a good idea to bid 1 spade there. The other advantage of overcalling, of course, other than that you may find a fit, is it tells your partner to lead that suit if they happen to end up on lead, and you know, it's obviously a great suit to lead in most situations. So that's the second example of bending the rules: overcalling with 4-card suit, but only at the 1 level. Don't overcall at the 2 level with only a 4-card suit, and it really should be a good suit like this. Okay.
Tony,
Yep.
suppose I'm South and you are asking me to overcall with a 4-card measure, good measure, but I might be having only 8 to 9 points.
Okay. Well, obviously, the weaker your hand, the less willing you should be to overcall. I mean, I think if all I had was Ace, King, Queen 10, if I didn't have any other points, then it's a little bit light there. I mean, an overcall normally promises a minimum of 8 points and a good 5-card suit. I suppose you could stretch it a little bit further if you're a bit weaker. Maybe 10 points with a good 4-card suit, but I wouldn't want to do it much less than that.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
I had a similar case where I had 4 cards and they were pretty good, and I did go, I overcalled it, but my partner with 3 cards put me into 2 of that, and at the end she said, "Oh, I thought you had 5 cards."
And she will. Your partner will assume you've got 5.
Yeah,
and it's right to support you because you are showing 5. But so be wary of that. I mean, sometimes it may get you into trouble, and you may end up playing this in spades with only 7 trump. On the other hand, your trump are very good, so that should compensate somewhat. Well, just next time you can tell your partner you were bending the rules there.
Was that me, Lotta?
Yeah. Yes, I think so, Ross. There was a case like that. But sometimes I've gone 1-0 trump with 14 points when I'm kind of dying to open, and I can't open without a 5-carder. So I have gone 1-0 trump with 14 points. Is that
well, that's stretching the rules
too much?
Well, I mean, normally that would be, most people play that as 15 to 17. So you're stretching it. I mean, you all know that in real life, in real bridge, people stretch things a little bit, overbid a little bit sometimes, and sometimes it works out well. You find a fit, or you force your opponents higher. So I would say, it's okay to do it, but be aware that you are stretching things a little bit sometimes, and don't do it. And if it goes wrong, then well, you've learned a lesson, I suppose.
Are you only doing this because you've got an opening hand?
Well, yes. I mean, I really want to bid with this hand, And I suppose someone else asked a question, what would you do if you only had, say, 9 or 10 points? I'd still be tempted to bid if I had something like, 9 points, but I mean, it's a good bid to make in the sense that, you've got a good suit. If your partner has a fit for you, you want to, you may want to outbid the opponent, but beware of bidding too high if you get into a competitive auction, because you may well only have 7 trump in this situation. So that's why I would suggest not bidding not bidding 3 hearts, not bidding 3 spades, for example, because as far as you know, you've only got 7. I believe on this hand itself, East-West might make 3 hearts depending on how they play, but obviously they may go down if they don't quite find exactly the perfect play. So that's the second one I wanted to mention, overcalling with a good 4-card suit. I sometimes see, however, people overcalling with a rubbish 4-card suit, and I definitely don't want to encourage that. That's a bit too far. Here's another one. This maybe relates to the topic we did recently of bidding 4-4-4-1 hands. Here's a hand where, as West, you've got that 4-4-4-1 distribution. Can anyone say what the opening bid should be here?
Diamond.
It's a diamond, yeah. With 3 touching suits, it's normal to bid the middle of 3 touching suits.
Yeah.
So you bid a diamond, your partner responds a spade, and what are you going to rebid now? Well, you have 16 points. It doesn't seem, you may well not have any fit in a major here, and although your hand isn't quite balanced, perhaps the best bid here is to rebid 1 no trump.
1 trump.
That should show a balanced hand with 15 or 16 points, and although it's not really balanced because you've got a singleton, that singleton is in your partner's suit, so you should be okay in the spade suit. So knowing that you've shown 15 or 16 points in a balanced hand, if your partner's got a hand like this with maybe 10 points, they should go on to 3 no trump then. And it seems like that's going to be the best contract for you.
Tony, me again. I've heard before that you shouldn't assume to jump to no trump if your partner bids the one your singleton's in, but you should go on bidding your suits. You may end up in no trump, but you could end up in hearts or something else.
Can you say that again?
I was told that you shouldn't assume to go to no trump when your partner bids your singleton, but you should bid another suit and keep going. You may end up in no trump, but you could end up in one of the others.
Yeah, I mean, what else could you bid? If you don't bid 1 no trump here, what could you bid? You could bid 2 clubs, which would show 2 suits, implying 5 diamonds and 4 clubs. You could bid 2 hearts, which is also a slight misdescription of your hand because it's a reverse bid. It's showing 16 points or more, which is, you do have that. It's just lying about the length of your diamonds. If you bid diamonds and then bid 2 hearts, you're showing 16 or more points with 5 diamonds and 4 hearts. So any bid you make there is a sort of slight misdescription of your hand. And the 1 no, I mean, I would say don't jump into no trump, straight away. For perhaps you're thinking of, your partner opens 1 of a suit. I would very rarely bid 3 no trump straight away. It's normally much better to bid a suit. Maybe you'll find a fit. But this is a slightly different situation where
the 2 hearts showing a reverse would be showing your points then.
Yeah, so that would be good in those terms. I mean, I think if you bid 2 hearts, you'll end up in 3 no trump here because you're showing 16 points and 5 diamonds and 4 hearts. So you're telling a small white lie about the diamond. So whatever you do, you're sort of slightly misdescribing your hand. But it is permissible to rebid one no trump here, or to make some other small, some other small white lie. Okay, we've got a bit of background noise there. So. Any other comments on that?
I want to ask one thing.
Go ahead.
Yes, instead of 16 points, if I had only 12 points, I can't bid one no trump.
No, that's correct. You would bid 2 clubs.
2 clubs, yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. So that's the second one. 4-4-4-1 hands and sometimes rebidding no trump when you don't quite have a balanced hand. That's another small white lie. And now we're going to come to perhaps one of the most important situations involving a slight misdescription of your hand. And that's on a hand like this. Your partner opens 1 spade and you've got 7 points here. Now, you have 3 spades to support your partner, and normally you would like to have 4 spades in order to raise them. So if I had a 4th spade, I would raise my partner's spades. But here, the only alternative to supporting your partner's spades is to bid 1 no trump. And I don't like 1 no trump. I certainly don't like 2 diamonds, which would be more like 10 points. And 1 no trump, you know, it could be the right place to be, but very often when your partner opens 1 of a major, they do actually have a 5-card suit, although it's not guaranteed. But nonetheless, it's probably right in this situation, instead of bidding 1 no trump, to support your partner and to bid 2 spades here. And very often your partner, I mean, both bids show a minimum hand, 1 no trump or 2 spades of 6 to 9 points. But very often your partner will have a minimum hand, as they do here. They will have 5 cards in their suit, and that would end the auction. And you're probably going to be better off on this hand playing this in 2 spades than you would in 1 no trump. Of course, if you bid 1 no trump, there's a chance your partner might bid 2 spades, or they might pass 1 no trump. So you may end up in the same spot. But most people will support their partner's major with only 3 cards if they have a suitable hand. And what you really want is to only raise your partner's major to the 2 level with 6 to 9 points if you have 3 card support, only if the alternative bid is 1 no trump. And you should have 3 reasonable trumps, at least 1 honor. You really should have also roughing values in your hand, something like a singleton, a void, or a doubleton. In other words, not a completely flat hand. And also no suit that you can bid yourself at the 1 level. And only in response to 1 of a major, not in response to 1 of a minor. So don't raise your partner's minor to the 2 level with 3 card support. Try and find some other bid. But if your partner's bid a major and you have your hand qualifies on all these grounds, it's probably better to support your partner rather than bid 1 no trump. Also, you never do this if you're jumping to the 3 level. If they go 1 heart, if you bid 3 hearts, that always promises at least 4 trumps for your partner. But you can raise them to the 2 level with 3 reasonable trumps if you have some shortness elsewhere, and the only other alternative is 1 no trump. So let's have a look at some examples of this. So here's one where West, you've got 19 points, you're just short of opening 2 no trump yourself, but you open 1 spade, your partner bids 2 spades, and you might automatically be thinking of jumping to 4 spades here, because it seems you have a trump fit, and with 19 points, your partner's got at least 6. You want to be in game here. But if you have the understanding, and it really should be a universal understanding, that it's possible that your partner has raised you with only 3 cards. The bid you should make here is not 4 spades, but 3 no trump. And that's saying to your partner, partner, I want to be in game, but I only have 4 spades. And to cater to the possibility that you raised me to 2 spades with only 3 card support, I'm bidding 3 no trump to give you a choice of games. Now, on this particular hand, this is the hand we were looking at earlier, where your partner raised you to 2 spades with only 7 high card points. Your partner should leave it in 3 no trump, because you've only got a 7 card spade fit, and you're probably going to be better off playing that in 3 no trump than in 4 spades. So that's an important part of this topic. If you have the understanding that your partner may sometimes raise you to the 2 level with only 3 cards, like here, West, if they want to go on to game or invite game, they should find another bid other than assuming that they've got a spade bid, if they only have 4 spades. If West had 5 spades, then they would always go on to 4 spades. You're always trying to find an 8 card fit in a major if you have one. But here you'd end up in 3 no trump, and East should pass that. Any comments on that one?
So when you're raising to 2 spades, you got to have an honor.
Yes, well, you know, there's a grey area here, but
yeah.
I would say you should have a reasonable suit, and in particular you should have some roughing values. Here you've got the 10 of clubs, a singleton, and that sort of makes it more attractive to play in spades rather than in no trump, perhaps. Now, on this particular hand, because your partner has got a very flat hand, they probably want to play it in 3 no trump, and that's probably the right spot to be in here, rather than in four spades.
Tony?
Yes, go ahead.
Do the same rules apply if there has been an intervening bid?
Yes, I think so. Yes, so very often you might you say your partner opened 1 spade. If North overcalled, say, 2 hearts, you might have been planning to respond 1 no trump, and you can't do that anymore. So your choice there would be to pass or to raise your partner with only 3 card support. So yes, if there's been intervening bid, sometimes you can raise your partner with only 3 cards. Any other comments?
Not on this one. I want to ask, one day I was told off, my partner bid 1 heart and I had 5 points in the heart, but I had 5 cards and I bid 2 heart, and he got angry that with 5 points you raised to 2 hearts. So is that wrong?
No, I would definitely think about, definitely support your partner if you have a 5 trump. I mean, presumably you had some shortness somewhere, so you could count.
Well, yeah, that time I didn't know the shortness that time.
You can also use a losing trick count, see if you've got 9 losers or not.
So, Tony, what about vulnerability?
Well, I don't think the vulnerability is too much of a factor here, because this is essentially an uncontested auction, and the vulnerability doesn't really have any bearing on what you should bid. So the vulnerability comes in if it's a contested auction and you're thinking about outbidding the opponents. Here you're just thinking about getting into the right spot. But thank you for that question. Now, if it goes like this, 1 spade, 2 spades, 3 no trump, if I change the East hand to actually have 4 spades here, now East, especially with a singleton there, should probably go back to 4 spades. In other words, the 3 no trump is saying, partner, I want to be in game, I only have 4 spades, and I'm giving you the choice of playing it in 3 no trump. But if we have an 8-card spade bit or better, we're probably going to be better off playing this in 4 spades rather than 3 no trump.
But how the West will know that that he's bidding with 3 cards?
So he doesn't know, right? So when East bids 2 spades, West will assume that that's normally 4 card support, but to cater to the possibility that it's only 3 cards, if he wants to go on, instead of bidding 4 spades, he should bid 3 no trump here. Here East has 4 spades and should go back to 4 spades.
So should we normally do this thing in all the games?
Yes, subject to the stipulations I made. Subject to the stipulation that you only bid 2 spades if it's an alternative. If your only other possibility is 1 no trump, if you've got 3 reasonable trumps, and if you have some kind of shortness somewhere else, a singleton or doubleton, say. But normally, if you have a stronger hand and you only have 3 card support, you don't support your partner. If they bid 1 spade, if you've got 10 points and 3 spades, for example, you find another bid. You bid 2 clubs or some other suit. So don't support your partner if you're at a higher level. Just do it at the 2 level as an alternative to 1 no trump. Here's another one. This time West opens 1 heart. They've got 17 points. Their partner rebids 2 hearts. So that's 6 to 9 points. So you might be thinking, I've got 17 points. They've got 6 to 9. We might have enough for game. And you might be thinking about what to bid here. And I've got a poll here. So don't answer verbally. But I've got a poll as to what do you think West could rebid here, bearing in mind that their partner may only have 3 hearts and their partner's got 6 to 9 points. Have a little think, and I'm going to launch the one and only poll of this evening, which is what do you think West should rebid here? So here comes that poll. Have a little think. And most of you have gone for 2 no trump here. 74% said 2 no trump, with 13% going for 3 clubs or 3 hearts. No one passed. And yes, I think those of you who bid, let's go back to the slides. I think those of you who bid 2 no trump, that has my support. 2 no trump is saying, partner, I'd like to invite game. Normally I might bid 3 hearts maybe. 3 hearts would be saying, partner, if you're 6 to 7 points, maybe pass. If you're 8 to 9, let's go on. But 2 no trump is invitational, but it's also saying to partner, I've only got 4 hearts. So if you have raised me with only 3 card support, we'll only have 7 trump, and then you may decide. To play in no trump rather than in hearts. And on this particular hand here, East has got 8 points, so they're at the top end of the 2 heart bid. So they would like to accept the invitation, but they only have 3 trump. They only have 3 hearts. So I think East should accept the invitation and bid 3 no trump here. Okay. So that 2 no trump bid shows around 17 points, because it's basically saying, partner, if you've got 6 to 7 points, I don't want to be in game. But if you've got 8 or 9 points, then we probably do want to be in game. And here, with only 7 hearts between us, we're probably best in 3 no trump rather than playing it in 4 hearts. Any comments on that? Most of you have agreed with that 2 no trump bid. On the other hand, let's change the East hand a little bit. Here I've made it a bit weaker. It's only 6 points now. So here I don't really want to accept the invitation of 2 no trump. I'm dead minimum for my hand, and I've only got 3 hearts, so I will pass 2 no trump. I will decline the invitation. Or I may have a weak hand, but with longer hearts. Here, if it's gone 1 heart, 2 hearts, 2 no trump, I probably want to decline the invitation, but I think I want to play it in hearts rather than in 2 no trump. So if I want to decline the invitation, but go back to hearts, I bid 3 hearts. And my partner should probably pass, because I'm saying I've got a weak hand, but I've got a good heart fit. I know we want to be in hearts, but I don't have enough for game. So that way I should end up in 3 hearts on this hand.
Tony, this has got confusing. The hand before this.
Yeah. Which one? This one?
The one before that one. I would have gone 1 heart because that's what I've got. Partner, I'd expect to go 1 no trump. I would then go 2 no trump, saying if you've got the top end, then go to 3. And we wouldn't get into this complicated, maybe they've only got 3 situation.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I mean, you'd get to 3 no trump anyway there. The advantage of bidding 2 hearts on this hand is really more in the situation where your partner has a weak hand, but very often they'll have a weak hand but with 5 hearts, and you'd be better off playing this in 2 hearts than in 1 no trump. So when you've got when you've got a stronger hand, then you can investigate whether you've got a heart fit or not. But it's when you've got a weak hand with 3 trump, very often you'd be better playing this in 2 hearts than in 1 no trump. But that does mean that then to cater to the possibility that your partner has raised you with only 3 card support, that's why you have to. That's why it's better to rebid no trump if you've only got 4 hearts. So to go back to this situation, sorry, if we go on to where we were, yeah, with a stronger suit but a weak hand, you'd bid 3 hearts, which your partner should probably pass. Or if you had a stronger hand with a good trump fit, then you would go back to hearts and accept the invitation and bid 4 hearts on this hand. So it is a little bit complicated, but it does allow you very often to play in 2 hearts or 2 spades rather than in 1 no trump. So those are the topics we covered today. Opening 1 no trump with a weak 5 card major, but I would always prefer to open 1 heart or 1 spade if I have a good 5 card major. Only if it's a very weak 5 card major is it often better to bid 1 no trump. Overcalling with a very strong 4 card suit, but only at the 1 level, with something like ace king queen or ace king jack, or better, you should consider opening, making a one of a suit overcall, only at the 1 level. Rebidding a no trump with an unbalanced hand, which was where you've got a singleton in your partner's suit. And probably the most important of these that comes up quite a lot is raising 1 of a major to the 2 level with only 3 trumps. Only do it if you've got at least 1 honor in the trumps, if you've got some roughing value, and if the only alternative would be 1 no trump. That's often a better choice. I mean, another advantage of bidding, 1 heart, 2 hearts, or 1 spade, 2 spades, is it's more likely to keep the opponents out of the auction. If it's gone 1 spade, 1 no trump, then the opponents can come in, at the 2 level. So, whereas 1 spade, 2 spades makes it a little bit harder for the opponents to enter the auction. So, I think you'll find that most good players do recommend you do that, but only if it's a major and only at the 2 level. So that was it. That was all I wanted to talk about this evening. Does anyone have any questions on any of that?